Grandpa, the last story you told me from the Bible was how God made the earth and all that is on the earth. Can you tell me another story? Sure, Tommy. Let me tell you the next story from the Bible. If you'll remember, Tommy, when God made the earth, he made a man whom he called Adam. He placed Adam and his helper, a woman, in a beautiful garden named Eden. They were very happy in the garden with God. Then one day, the craftiest of all the creatures that God had made, the serpent, came to the woman and said, "Really? You can not eat any of the fruits of the gardens?" The woman replied, "Oh yes, we may eat the fruit of all the trees in the garden, except the one in the center, the one called the tree of knowledge. If we eat the fruit of that tree, or even just touch it, we will die." "That's a lie," hissed the serpent. "God knows that if you eat the fruits of that tree, thou will knows the difference between goods and evils, just as he does." The fruit of that forbidden tree looks so lovely and fresh. It will make me very smart, she thought. She decided she wanted to be like God and know the difference between good and evil. So she ate some of the fruit, and she gave some to Adam for him to eat. And suddenly, as they ate the fruit, they saw that they had no clothing on, and were embarrassed by their nakedness. So they strung some leaves together and wore them as an apron to cover themselves around the waist. That evening, as they heard God coming through the garden, they hid in the bushes. God called to Adam, "Why are you hiding?" God knew that they had eaten the forbidden fruit, but he wanted an answer from Adam. Adam replied, "I heard you coming. I didn't want you to see me naked." "Who told you that you were naked?" God asked. "Have you eaten the fruit of the tree that I told you not to eat?" "Yes," Adam replied, "but the woman that you gave me as a helper gave it to me, and I ate it." Then God turned to the woman and asked, "How could you do such a thing?" "The serpent tricked me," explained the woman. God then turned to the serpent and said, "You, serpent, are singled out of all the animals to be cursed. You shall crawl on your belly in the dirt for as long as you live." This was God's punishment for the serpent. God turned to the woman and said, "You and your descendants shall suffer much pain while having children, but you shall love your husband, and he will be your master." This was God's punishment for woman. Adam named his wife Eve, meaning life-giving one. God turned to Adam and said, "Because you listened to your wife and ate the fruit that I told you not to eat, I have placed a curse upon the soil. It will grow many thorns and thistles among the grasses and grains that you will eat. You will have to work very hard to survive until the day you die." That was man's punishment from God for eating the fruit that he told them not to eat. God clothed Adam and Eve in skins from wild animals and drove them from the garden to farm the land from which Adam had been taken. Then God put angels with flaming swords to guard the entrance to the garden.